Hello. Finally, the stream is working. Oh my lord. It has taken 17 years, but we're here.
Right, everyone from my side, go over to the upload on Twitch. People watching.
Oh well, honestly, keep your stream up and finish quali.
Fuck's sake, I literally just turned it off.
Alright, never mind. Well, we're gonna have a bit of a crossover whenever it finally lets me load in.
Yep.
Right. Checkered flag falling soon. 10 seconds remaining. We're on board with the GB, our championship leader, who is currently on pole as it stands. Rainy Day Does Gaming, thank you for the follow. You are our 800th follower.
That is my
in the
girlfriend.
chat. Oh, so great timing. 800th follower.
Yay.
Welcome into the stream. Ranga in the chat says Ranga for pole. We're all rooting for you, Ranga. Can't wait
Yeah.
to see it.
You got this.
GB massively losing the rear, and I would honestly think that's kind of the lap over at that
I think
stage.
Duo is 2.5 tenths up. Is it going to be
As he
pole?
rounds the final corner, Dynamic Duo P2
Oh,
in the
yes, it
championship,
is.
but P1 on track. Does GB have any answer
No, he's backed off, it looks
to
like.
that? We will see.
Yeah, he's backed off.
Is there anyone else who can touch that lap time? Dobo does not improve. SDK Max is 2 tenths up out of Sector 2. Can he extract more time here through the final sector?
There was a
Max
car
in the McLaren
sideways.
jumps a position
That's George boy.
as Cthulhu comes in. Addiction is invalid. Ethan's cutting the grass. Down in P14 and Freddy.
Oh, there's P3. Oh, very nice.
E3 in the Ferrari, lovely lap from Freddy there. So the Ferrari's looking to put pressure on Dynamic Duo, currently on pole by 2 tenths. And Ollie, I think now is a good time to set up the new
Yeah,
lobby.
that's what
I'll
I'm
get
doing. Yeah.
I'll get the quali order. But we're gonna have to do, unfortunately, a lobby restart, chat, because just how awful. I don't even know who to blame anymore. Is it EA? Is it the game? Is it Xbox?
Oh, Zampa has invited me. Does he know?
The game would just not let
Right, let me make sure I've got everything sorted then.
would not let me stream until I was on my home dashboard, and then I could start the stream.
Right.
And
Oh, I
Ranga
need
does
the
not seem
weather
to-
for the race.
Oh yes, I will get the weather. Zampa has a 5-place
Yeah.
penalty.
Something happened with him and... There were 2 incidents with this Brevis Savage. He caused one with someone else and then caused one with Zampa.
And Frigi also has.
Yeah,
Who was the
did-
cause?
I don't know. I didn't see the instance, but it just popped up that, you know, there's a thingy. So I don't even know what's happened there. Right, I will let you know, so we'll try and get everyone in as quick as possible. While everyone's joining, I'm gonna go for a piss, so
Right, we're gonna go over to Ollie's lobby, and hopefully, this lobby is less bugged. Because unfortunately, this has been the second week in a row where we've had to do this. We had to do a lobby restart in tier 2. Because I'll have the stream up and going. Even in the lobby, I'll have the stream ready. But then once I try and go live, before we load in, then the Xbox is like, actually, I've forgotten how to do that, actually. I don't physically know how to go live. And all I can say to everyone is, it's a good thing. I'll be getting a PC soon. I wonder, has Ollie got he's put it on invite only. Well, that's just great. That's made things a lot easier for me, hasn't it? Anyway, let's go through everyone here and get them back in.
Alright, we are back.
All right, put the lobby to invite or friends only, so that we can get people back in quicker.
Alright, it is done. How many people do we need in? We need all 20 then, don't we? Oh, do we have the weather?
No. Well, may as well leave it on random because I forgot to get it.
Ah, shit.
It has been scuffed. Well, actually, we'll ping. We'll ask the chat, the tier 2 chat. Did anyone get the weather?
I think GB usually gets it, so.
Because after you left, I was like, well, I need to start. Well, GB says dry throughout. Whenever you left, I was like, well, I need to start inviting people.
Hey, who
There's
was
no lobby.
P3?
Freddie.
Freddy. Yes, not joined yet.
I'll send the image into the admin chat. Um,
Come on, Fred. We need you. Ready
well,
in?
you still can do. You can do everyone else before.
Yeah.
You can put everyone in the right position.
Crypto.
I'm just still inviting people.
P5 is Max. Max in? Max is not in. There he is. Max P5. Dobo P6.
There's the invite for Friday.
There he goes in, so. Duo, Sanson, Freddy, Crypt Max, Dobo, yep. George.
Is there anyone here that shouldn't be here? Is the question. We've now got 20. I believe we have everyone in here. Should be here.
COD. COD, Charisma. Lulu. F. Fiction. And it's Fungus. Then where's Scotland?
Welcome into the stream, Skillax.
Scotland. Savage. Bridgie.
We're currently trying to get this stream restarted. Well, not even the stream, just the lobby restarted.
Alright, I think we are good.
So the weather is clear throughout, and what I would do is change the distance to 35% and then back to 50 again, and then
for
double
the
check
safe
the
spell.
safety car.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do the 35% thing first. Because I think Ultras did it before, where when he loaded into the lobby, the safety car was on, but then once he got in, it was off. So, but double check the safety cars
Safety car is on. Yes.
on reduced, and then formation lap off,
Yep. We're all good.
and then
Sorry.
damage standard.
Yep, damage standard.
Yeah, there's not really much else I remember that we need to look at, but anyway, I do think that's just ready to go. I will ping the drivers and tell them to not ready up before a certain time.
Yeah, we are all good. Excuse me.
Right, I've given the drivers plenty of time to remember their setups and whatever else. So hopefully we can get in and have no more technical difficulties for the remainder. And I think what we're gonna have to do next week is I'm just gonna have to start the stream like way earlier just to avoid all this
Maybe, yeah.
BS. Because I genuinely restarted my Xbox like 2 or 3 times. During one of the restarts, my Xbox was just in a permanent cycle of not restarting, so I just pulled the plug out and then started the stream while I wasn't even in the game yet, and then it worked. So
Fair enough, fair
I don't
enough.
know why it's doing what it's doing. But anyway, hopefully no one readies up early. But gentlemen, for those of you listening, you have 5 minutes to remember your setups and pick your strategies. I'm just going to say it more than once just so that everyone remembers for sure. Because you know there's always at least 1 or 2 drivers who are like, oh, I forgot my setup. And you can only like give them so many warnings.
You can only just tell them a skill issue.
Yeah. But to be honest, chat, it's not like I haven't done it. I have also done it, so
Womp womp.
womp womp, indeed. Why does it say we're live again? What is happening? So apparently we've gone live again, even though we're currently live anyway. What? Anyway, thank you for the follow, Jason and Dylan, and thank you for the subscriber prime from last week, Hopes and Dreams. Hopefully you're in here, but I'm just really confused with what's happening tonight. Because my connection's not bad, it's like everything else. Don't know what is going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
But chat, for those of you listening, I will be getting a PC in the near future, so maybe for next season,
Oh, he's gonna be cookie paste.
all of
God.
these. I wish. Oh my god, imagine.
Yeah, but you won't have
just me
curb
going over to
difficulties
PC.
anymore. That's just for sure.
Oh, imagine that. Oh my god. Oh, I'd kick Cook out of the league just to just to win.
Nice.
I'd just be like, oh, Cookie had to leave due to mysterious circumstances, and it's just because I wanted to manufacture a win. But yeah, I've also on my other Xbox, I've got like 4 notifications that Charisma's gone live. So I think
I think Charisma's live.
I think we're having the same issue that he's having, because I'm guessing the stream is like dying and then restarting immediately, and I think it did that for us once because I got the Way of Fun is live notification like 10 minutes after we were actually live, and I feel like I already got that notification. So I feel like it has restarted. We've got emu moments from Ollie and Ollie 2.0. We'll call her. I don't really know a good nickname.
Oh, she's the We Have Fun mascot. Say that.
I thought that was emu. I thought that was Sean.
I don't even know.
I suppose he's the SSR mascot. Maybe we've not got our own wee mascot yet. We're
Yeah,
still
no.
hiring. Ravage in the chat says he hearts SSR, and
Does he even know?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Dynamic Duo was not with us during the SSR days. Dynamic Duo has joined us this season, and has been tearing it up. Dynamic Duo currently P2 in the championship behind GB Sanderson, and on track Dynamic Duo is ahead, starting on pole ahead of his championship rival GB here. And we're looking forward to see what we can see. Zen in the chat says last to first incoming, and I'm hoping we can see it, Zen. If you show us last to first pace, you know,
You're tier 1, buddy.
then you're tier 1, buddy. That's how it works.
So do last
You have
to
to be
second,
like-
then you'll be good. Don't
You
worry.
have to be like just a you have to be like just a level where you don't you know, catch your eye, where we're like, all right, you're tier 1 now. You need to go under the radar. Thank you for the follow in the chat, Zayn, as well. But the drivers should be readying up now. We're now at 21:39, and what was I gonna say?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hopefully the drivers have remembered their setups.
Yeah, how many?
As
yeah,
we're gonna
who's
have
first?
the 5 red lights on, and they're out. But I feel like that's a bit of a glitch because they've not moved away yet, but they have now. And Dynamic Duo leads us away in the lead. GB on the inside, looking for the move on his championship rival. Dynamic Duo keeps it ahead. We've now got Crypto following in behind. We've got Georgie Boy in the Haas making his debut on these softs. Max dives it up the inside here in the McLaren. And Georgie Boy now round the outside on the sauce and the Haas, looking very quick off the start here. Great start for the Haas driver.
Ooh.
Oh, and he's gone through the Williams of Crypto. That was weird. He ghosted through him. Very strange desync there. Meanwhile, Dobo and Zampa side by side now. Out of... I'm trying to remember what corner this is. Brooklands? I don't even remember the corner.
Brooklands, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And Zampa also being
Kilo goes
followed by
wide.
the Emu himself.
Or it's
The-
going to be
the
side by
two
side
Red Bull
between Ethan
teammates.
and BP. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That was RAF.
Oh, and through Maggots and Beckett's. And Charisma's got contact with Zampa here. Out of Beckett's.
Oh, bit of contact with
Meanwhile,
Castolo.
GB's lost out to his Ferrari teammate and also may lose out to Georgie Boy here. Georgie Boy in the Haas
Oh.
sends it on the inside. Georgie
Oh,
Boy's off in
it's
the
the
wall.
Oh, and he comes on
Oh,
track.
he's had contact.
Oh, no.
He's had contact with someone rejoining. And that's a big penalty for Georgie Boy. And Charisma as well here. Been involved.
Just
Gets a
front wing.
penalty.
What the whole
And I
that?
feel like that rejoin is certainly going to see the stewards.
That was very
What
bad.
happened there? That was a horrendous rejoin from the debutant. And there's a VSC out as my controller has disconnected in disbelief.
Anyway, we were saying as RAF
And
is
RAF
retired-
is retired in the pits. Man is allergic to finishing a race.
Anyway, we were
Anyway,
saying
uh,
about Victor Zen. He is up 10 places. He's had a
Oh
monster
my
start.
lord.
Maybe he is going last to first. Maybe
Oh,
he is.
and then Zen in the chat has said wing damage.
Oh,
And I
there might have been that
honestly
incident.
I do feel like Georgie Boy with that
That was
horrific rejoin.
very bad from him. You don't want to see anything like that. As he gets
And
a
Georgie Boy
drive
picks
through
up a
too.
drive through, exiting the pit lane,
Oh,
so his
God.
delta may have been a bit off, and Georgie Boy retires on track. So, just not great altogether. Meanwhile, Cathilla goes off. Dynamic Duo now losing out to Freddy, so Freddy in the Ferrari takes the lead of the race. We missed that.
Meanwhile, Codzilla also at the back also has no front wing, so got 2 cars running around there with no front wing, so they're coming to
And
the pits.
Zampa and Cthulhu side by side here. And we're getting horrific camera angles. Who wants this camera angle ever? Who wants that camera angle? Remove it from the game. Never wanted it. Anyway, we've got
Oh, do it on
Sen,
the inside.
aka
Ready?
Ace now.
Oh,
Dubsy picks up a 5-second time penalty. We've got so many drivers into the pits already
oh,
because of
duo
damage
on the
here.
inside of Freddy. gets the DRS. So he's
And
gonna have to
another
move.
horrendous camera angle as we're going to have to go on board with GB. As GB now looking on the inside of his teammate Freddy here. And GB may get ahead, having a little look on the inside of Dynamic Duo as well. Freddy also trying to find a way back through again if he can. But GB gets back into P2 and order is restored from
Got a
the
race in
start
my
there.
hands, but I love it. We've got 4 cars in the pit.
This has been,
Oofed.
yeah, a very chaotic start and a lot of drivers were damaged. And a lot of it caused by the debutant of Georgie Boy. With one of the worst rejoins I've seen
No, a long time.
since WR Brazil. If those
As
of you who've
BPS
seen
is
that
going to gain
rejoin.
another position past Cthulhu.
And does he have wing damage?
Oh,
Because the way
Ethan
he's driving,
taps the back of him.
Ethan and Cthulhu goes a bit off, and Ethan now battling here with Cthulhu. Ethan round the outside, lovely move. Ethan now into P9. Meanwhile, Zayn following Zampa now, and they're 2.7 back from Dobo. Dobo's 2.3 back from the lead pack here. And GB now with DRS. Is he going to look for the move on Dynamic Duo? He may, but backs out of the move. Brakes early, doesn't want the move just yet. Meanwhile, Brebis has picked up a time penalty while battling with Addiction, his French compatriot. And I wonder, was that overtake off track or would it have been something similar? Meanwhile, GB now into Cops, very close behind Dynamic Duo now, and into Maggots and Beckett's almost. He is within a tenth now.
Oh, close.
Very close now. And trying to get the great exit out of Beckett's. Meanwhile, he's got Freddy in behind his teammate, who's also looking for a good exit here.
Yeah, GB looks like he's going to
Cthulhu picks
pass.
up his first time penalty today.
Does.
GB dives it on the inside.
Oh, we're
Then
running
Argo's
outside.
still there though. Side by side they go. And Freddy's got a great on board here of both cars as Dynamic Duo washes a bit over the sausage curb. And major desync here as Freddy's going to get through.
Freddy's had
Krypton
a
on the inside of
Hamilton
Dynamic
moment.
Duo. I mean, he has, but it didn't look pretty on the stream. It just looked like the cars desynced ahead of him. Freddy just got through. Unless you got a better viewpoint of that. Meanwhile, Crypto on the outside of GB! And GB's got contact from Max behind! GB's got contact from Max behind!
Oh, and along the
As we're
straight too
getting
with
more
Crypto.
and more. Crypto now round the outside of GB. GB dives it on the inside! Side by side they go. GB around the outside. Can he keep it? Crypto's going to get through into P3. Battling here for the podium. And GB does not need this. He wants to be in the fight for the win. Can Crypto hold on to the DRS as GB goes off at Cops? Struggling here. Following contact from Max there. Through the first number of corners as we've settled a bit now. Meanwhile, Ethan on the rear of Ace, and Ethan now may have a run down the hanger straight into P8 now. Ethan goes on these hard tyres. Ethan looking
It's roofing
on
on
the
for
rear.
GB.
on Zampa, yeah. Ollie 2.0 is the biggest fan of GB apparently here, and GB struggling a bit now, falling a little bit back from the train, but he's still comfortably inside DRS, but he wanted to close that margin up a little bit before it gets too extended, and you can see just that. GB now within
Oh, will Dynamic Duo go
4
for a
tenths.
move? He's too far back.
Dynamic Duo,
He
yeah,
is.
but he is closing up to Freddy. And this top 5 now have seemed to calm down a little bit following the antics on lap 4 or 5, was it? Bit of contact with all drivers involved, really. And I would love to see if there was a different or a better viewpoint of that Freddie overtake, where he recreated the through goes Hamilton moment, because on my screen it was just like Dynamic Duo and GB just like ghosted and desynced, and then Freddie just was like, okay,
I had
overtake here.
a lot better view of that. I mean, I saw Freddy look like he went deep and then cut in, and then from what I saw, Duo hit GB, which then kind of made GB sideways, which then made him Freddy pass Duo, and then he got GB on the straight as well. So I don't know if that was desync or if that was actually just contact there. Either way, it was a pretty good overtake.
Dynamic Duo.
I think Dynamic Duo's actually
did get
overtaken
back
him.
through.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he did get back through on Freddie, and Freddie now looking for a way back through on Dynamic Duo. You can see GB in the background there. Wants to get back up to where he was at least into P2. Meanwhile, again with the camera angles, who wants a camera angle of the bloody driver's helmet? I want to see the racing. As Freddie gets back through again. Like, who wants a side-on view of the driver's helmet?
Oh god.
Meanwhile, Duo on the inside of Cops. Is this the right move to go for? And Freddie goes wide, and both drivers leaving the space here, but they're side by side in a Maggots and Beckett's. Someone's going to have to back out. Freddie backs out smartly. Thank God there was not an absolute car crash there into Maggots and Beckett's, and I'm sure GB in the back of his mind was kind of hoping for it, because it would have surely benefited his championship fight. Meanwhile, Freddie back on through into the lead as the racing is so close here. Everyone inside a 10th as we've got on board with Dynamic Duo's front wing. This is exactly the camera I want! As it hits Freddie. He has a little bit of contact with Freddie. I don't know if Freddie
Max
turned in too early there. Max in the background, you can see there.
Oh, it goes wide.
Into P4, GB back through again. Max looking for the back through again, but if we look at the tyres now, Max may actually be in the best position here. Max started on the hards, so we've got to keep an eye on them. Meanwhile, Dobo and Ethan also start on the hards, so we have to keep an eye on these drivers. Meanwhile, Freddie side by side yet again with Dynamic Duo, but Dynamic Duo going to keep it ahead of Freddie, as Freddie looking for the switchback yet again here as Brevis picks up a time penalty. We've got Zampa and Ace battling for position as Ethan leads this train now, and Ace having a very good debut race at this stage. Meanwhile, Max picks up his first time penalty of the day, which is not going to help in his fight for the lead. And we did mention how he's in a very good position here, but that time penalty will not help him. He's going to have to pull a gap, even if he does get the benefit of the strategy. He's going to have to pull a gap to the pack behind in the event he does get past on that reverse strategy.
Oh, as GB is going to be our first man to pit. Go for the undercut.
And that is extremely early.
You might just want to get out that group. You might just want to have some clear air and push. Hopefully pull a gap from these three, which are all battling, so they're going to be slowed down.
I wonder, does GB have any damage? Because otherwise he's just went in extremely
early.
He
has!
And he does have damage.
Oh, no.
There's damage on that Ferrari, and he must have had a coming together with someone.
Might have been Max. Might have been that Max incident.
It may have been, and not what our championship leader
yellow.
wanted. Meanwhile, Scotland, I believe, is around at Maggots and Beckett's, and he is. And hopefully Scotland can recover from that incident. Meanwhile, Max has fallen to DRS from the lead pack here. Meanwhile, Ethan looking for way through on Zampa, looking for a big switchback here. And Zampa struggling on traction. Ethan may find a way through.
The Dobo was in a little world of his own. 3.6 ahead and 4.5 behind. He's having a very quiet race, but he doesn't mind.
Dobo could be another driver to look out for going on that reverse strategy. Now, GB could make it to the end on these hards It's just probably
Oh,
a
Ethan
bit
goes
earlier
off.
than he would have liked. Yeah,
be
meanwhile,
taken
Freddy
by
back
Ace.
through yet again on Dynamic Duo here.
Ethan goes for a move on Zampa though. Is it done?
And Ethan gets through Zampa with a big snap here. Zen now on the rear. Meanwhile, Dynamic Duo trying to battle here with Freddy. Meanwhile, Crypto, who I don't believe has a podium yet with WHF. I'm sure he's loving life where he is. As Cthulhu picks up a time penalty, and trying to find where Crypto is. Yeah, Crypto's best result is P8, so if Crypto could even just stay with the leaders here. He would be in a very good position.
Oh, Zampa! Oh my word, what have I just seen?
Oh, and Ethan's gone off, and I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
the
called
stewards
that
will.
My POV, unfortunately, Zampa,
Yeah.
naughty boy.
If you want to take a clip,
I
then
did,
that'd
don't
be
worry, I got
good.
it. Yeah, that was pretty bad from Zampa there, he just took him out. I mean, it wasn't intentional, I'm sure it wasn't, but just he went deep, Ethan went wide on the entry to Brooklyn, Zampa tried to go on the inside of him and just, Ethan then cut in, and then it just spun him round. Zampa does actually have damage now on his left end plate, so that'll be...
Well, now may be a good time to come in for the hards. A bit like GB did also to get rid of that
Oh,
damage
and
as
Ace
well.
also comes in.
And
so-
I wonder, Ace did mention in the chat that he did have damage as well, so I wonder if both of them going to go in and fix their front wings, which could be the smart move. Meanwhile, if GB does have the pace, he could potentially make up for the time lost changing his front wing. But at the same time, though, whenever
we're going to battle for the lead.
drivers here,
Oh, duo around the outside into Brooklyn's return to the inside. I don't know what corner that is called though.
I might just get a track map up again because I always forget the corners.
I should probably know the corner names, but Freddy, don't go for that. Oh my god.
Yeah, Freddy at Cops looking for the move back through again. Meanwhile,
Crypto gets a good run here. He could have a double overtake possibly. Freddy's going to get the
Max,
move on
though.
duo. Can Crypto get duo though? He's not. Too far behind.
yeah, Crypto is just has the best seat in the house, and Max, though, surprisingly to me, has fallen off the lead pack, and you'd expect his hards would start to be outperforming the mediums at this stage. But
Yeah, they're in
Max
the DRS train
continues
though.
to-
Just going to pull each other
yeah,
away
Ma-
as
yeah,
Blue
Max just
comes in.
hasn't been able to catch, and the key is when they come off these mediums onto the hards, or did even try and stretch it onto the softs, but I don't really see anyone doing the soft strategy. Meanwhile, Ethan's in a very good position here because, well, I forgot about the Zampa and Ace, or the Zampa and Ethan contact is. There's a bit of contact between Zen and Zampa, aka Ace, as Ace is
Ethan
looking.
goes off. He's struggling. Then again, he is on no line, so we can give him the benefit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dynamic Duo into Maggots and Beckett's. Can he get the run? With DRS now.
Oh,
Scotland's
in the
retired,
pits.
going into the pits. Scotland's called it a day. Dynamic Duo gonna get back through again into the lead, and Freddy and Dynamic Duo have been just swapping for positions, and they're happy enough. But Freddy and Crypto now dive it into the pit lane, and they will be going on to the hards. And I honestly would say Dynamic Duo, the smart move for him would be to box onto the hards. Next lap he'll have a lap fresher hards, to go
Oh, Crypto's left.
to the
Ooh.
end of the race, and I will see if I can get Crypto back in again here.
That's
And
unfortunate.
hopefully that does not sabotage Crypto too much, because
Fight for the win.
at least he's losing the majority of his time in the pit lane, so when
Right,
he
where is
rejoins,
GB
hopefully he doesn't
going to
lose too
be?
much time.
In terms of where Freddy and Crypto, well, I think Crypto's going to lose position, unfortunately, to GB due
Yeah.
to that disconnect.
Yeah, GB now
Oh,
is ahead of Crypto on 4 laps older hards here.
but he is
But
with
can
Freddy,
he
so
catch Freddy?
that's kind of ideal for GB, but I mean, his tyres will be probably by the end very dead. Oh, fucking nose.
Meanwhile, Ethan now out of the pit lane now behind Codzilla, who's on the hards now. As I've given Crypto an invite, but apparently he's not got it, so let's do that again. Let's give him another invite, see if that does anything. Meanwhile, Dynamic Duo does make the smart move of coming in
Max stays out.
this lap now,
On the
as
hards,
Ace
so-
picks up a time penalty. And Crypto thankfully is back in, but how much time is he going to lose here? He's now 3.4 back. Wait, Crypto started on the mediums, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. How is he on now?
Oh my god.
Oh,
No, he started on the
no.
mediums and he's now in the mediums. Oh my god, this game's awful. Oh my god, EA.
There's race
why?
over. Unfortunately.
That is Crypto's race over, because as he entered the pit lane, he disconnected, and it's put him on a medium
Ace
strategy.
sets
Jesus
fast up of the
Christ.
race with his new front wing, so Ace is speeding.
Yeah, Ace now also outside of DRS from Zampa as well. Meanwhile, GB almost inside the fight for the lead here. He's outside the DRS at the moment. Can he catch up? Is the question. But Crypto does have control of his car now, but the game, I don't understand.
I don't get it.
There's no way, there's no physical way he even had the mediums selected. Like, why has the game put him on mediums? I physically cannot conceive why it's done that.
Yeah.
Max comes in, and it will be for the mediums. Dobo staying out another lap here.
Maybe Dobo
maybe
will
if
for a
there's a late-
safety car.
Yeah, a late safety car would benefit Dobo. Meanwhile, Dynamic Duo back into the lead here, battling with Freddy. And Dynamic Duo has the lap fresher hards here, so he's in the best position at the moment. He just needs to protect those tyres and his ERS. And GB now just needs to try and get
Oh,
as
Freddy.
much points as possible.
Side by side with Dynamic Duo.
As Ethan picks up a time penalty. Down in P13, battling with Codzilla. Meanwhile, Dynamic Duo still battling with Freddy. Can GB close this gap? It doesn't seem possible.
Oh! Whoa,
the
that was a late
big-
move.
Yeah, and there's a big wobble involved as well here. But if Dynamic Duo knows what's good for him, he shouldn't be battling here with Freddy. He should be just, both using the pace and escaping off into the distance before they start battling. Otherwise, they're going to allow GB back into the DRS here. And Freddy going defensive here. And Dynamic Duo
Dobo's in.
does lift off. And there you can see now 3/10 gained on GB simply from not fighting Freddy here. And I think the main thing Dynamic Duo needs to do is just hold on to the DRS of Freddy. And then towards the end of the race can properly start racing him. Meanwhile, Crypto does pick up the fastest lap of the race. I do believe Crypto should end this race with the fastest lap because he'll have to go on to the softs. But wow, I've never seen... It's like whenever you disconnect and you pet the game intentionally sabotages you. Like
Pretty much.
There's literally... That's the only way I can put it. It's like intentional sabotage. Meanwhile, our battle for the lead rages on here. I do wonder if Zampa or Ace did fix their front wings. I don't know if they were missing an end plate or they just have minor wing damage.
Ace, I didn't see even had his front wing looked fine when he said he had damage, so it's probably just very little damage. Zampa was definitely missing a left end plate, so he's got that fixed now. Alexa off. I did not call you. What the fuck?
I think they both got their wings fixed, and Crypto has pinged me again for another invite, so he must have disconnected again.
Still in at the moment.
Oh well, I'll just send him one.
Actually
in
catching
case.
GB very quickly.
Well, he is on the correct tires, but
Yeah.
he'll have to essentially pull a pit stop and then go on the softs. Crypto, if you're listening, I would just box for the softs immediately, because you're gonna have to anyway. So you may as well just try and make up the time that you're gonna lose. But Dynamic Duo really is doing the smart thing here. Not using much battery, just staying in behind. Crypto has now picked up a time penalty. Trying to find a way past GB. And GB is in a good position here. His only real threat is Max and Dobo behind, and they are a good margin behind. Yes, they do have the much better mediums here, but as Ethan picks up the fastest lap, Ethan now on the sauce to the end. As Dynamic Duo now back through into the lead. As Crypto now round the outside of GB, as there's a lot of desync involved with that move. Just feel like the connection tonight has not been very stable.
Oh no, it has not.
This time, chat, I am not the host, so it is not my connection that is the issue here. So I really don't know what the problem has been tonight. Meanwhile, Freddy still following along Dynamic Duo, and I think both Freddy and Dynamic Duo know that they're just going to hold on to the DRS of both drivers here. It's a 5 second speeding in the pit lane penalty, and he's coming off those hard tyres onto the softs to the end, I assume.
Actually, meanwhile, I didn't even notice, but Crypto has overtaken GB, so... I mean, GB obviously is still a net P3 at the moment.
Yeah, Crypto has that time penalty, and also
and
have to box
pit too.
I'm not even sure. Does Crypto know he has to box again? I wonder.
Well, he's probably going to leave it very late, I think, and then try and get fastest lap. Possibly. That'd be a good idea. I mean, also, him not pitting now lose more places unless he stays out and gains the time he needs to actually make a pit stop and not lose many places. So I think he's doing the right thing at the moment. If he pits now, he'll probably be, I don't know what, down at P11, P12-ish? His pit lane is very big. I think this is like 30 or 34 seconds total for a pit stop, pretty sure. As Ethan picks up in another 3 seconds. Got Charisma right behind him.
But Spared Fungus now into the pit lane for fresh mediums. Meanwhile, Charisma on the outside of Ethan now.
Oof, Ethan collapsed the curb there.
Seemed like Ethan was just letting Charisma ahead.
As Spared Fungus is actually pitted for the mediums. Maybe he was on hard, so he just pit, I do not know. Oh, there's a yellow.
There's a yellow flag out, and it's for the Haas of Brebis.
Will this be a safety car?
I think
No,
Brebis
he's
just spun.
He's going. We're good. Oh, Ethan spun too.
And Crypto is in.
Sideways on the track. He's got to go in,
And
so
very unfortunate for
no
Ethan.
safety car.
Crypto now in for the softs. I wonder, will he get... That'd be hilarious if Crypto went on the mediums again.
That would not be funny, but it would also be very funny. So, as Ace
But,
gains another position, now he's up 13 places. Ace is absolutely
Yeah,
flying. Oh,
brilliant.
who's that? Oh, it's
maybe
Ethan again.
Ethan again here. Ethan struggling for tire temp and is now going to be a lap down from Dynamic Duo and Freddy as they head through cops now. And Ethan was doing well and then had a spin following contact with Zampa,
Oh, it's
and
Bribus.
since then it's kind of all unraveled for Ethan.
Letting the cars through, it looks like, so I think this might be a retirement in the pit lane for him. There's now a lap down, and
Yeah.
he's probably not getting anything else since he's 32 seconds behind. It's not behind next car of LZ. As he comes in, this is going to be the end of his race. Yes, it is.
Yeah, and can't really
Lucky for
blame him.
Ethan.
Unfortunately, following his contact with Zampa,
Which will
just could not
100%
recover.
see the stewards.
Yeah, I would like to see a point of view of both drivers from that incident, because Ethan had been running well up in around P7, I believe, and then contact with Zampa and Ethan was sidewards. But meanwhile, though, gotta keep an eye on Dobo here. Dobo is around 7 or 8 seconds back from GB on better mediums than GB's hards. Can Dobo start to catch and put a dent into that delta? Can Max as well? Max on these fresher mediums as well. Although Max does have the time penalty, which may make it too difficult to catch. But GB now,
Oh, it's a yellow. Who's that?
that
yellow?
is a Addiction, I believe, as
Oh,
my
no,
controller
it's
was just...
just Ethan's car retiring. Oh, we've got a fight between the two Williams. Crypto rowdy outside. Oh, we got it. Nice.
Lovely move from Crypto there on
He's
the
on the softs.
fresh sauce now. And Crypto trying to recover the damage
Oh, Max. We've had a massive
from
snap
his
out of
disconnect.
Stowe, I believe it's called. I don't know if I got that one right, but yeah, we move.
We'll look up the track map one day, but it is not this day. Meanwhile, Freddy and Dynamic Duo continue to battle here for the lead. And I think both of them are just waiting for the perfect time.
Crypto goes fastest lap.
Towards the end of the race to go for it.
Well, there's one thing I'm interested to see. Will Crypto catch Zampa? 4 laps time with the 2 lap old softs versus Zampa's 11 lap old hards. Gap of 5 seconds, so it'll be a tough ask, but see if he can do it. Saying
And I
that,
would
he's go
say
for a
even though
piss.
GB, yeah, and I would say even though GB did have that early wing damage and had a box early off the hards, he still may have a podium here.
Yeah, he's still going to get a good amount of points here. I mean, if Freddie, I think, needs to win. He needs to beat Dynamic Duo, so he limits Duo's points haul since he got the pole, which is an extra 2 points. So if he gets the win too, then that'll be a big dent in GB's championship lead. So he needs his teammate to get the win here.
But yeah, in terms of, if you had asked GB before the race would have taken P3, I think he may have taken it. I think he may have realised that had been some good damage limitation, because GB unfortunately is going to miss out next week in Qatar, but he will be back for the finale in Las Vegas. And GB wants to limit the amount of points that Dynamic Duo will gain here, because there's also Qatar where Dynamic Duo could also gain in the championship. Why does it keep doing that? Please stop doing that. My controller just keeps disconnecting for no reason. Anyway, Freddy and Dynamic Duo continuing to battle for the lead here. Very early in the stint they were constantly swapping for positions, but now they have both settled in, and it now just seems to be a waiting game whenever either driver decides to drop the hammer and try and escape from the other driver. We will see. Meanwhile, Godzilla gets ahead of Friggy, and Godzilla now trying to head down the road after Charisma in P12. And we've a lot of big gaps here in this race, except the battle for the lead. Although Max has now caught a second to GB, but he needs to be catching at a much more rapid rate if he does want a podium here. I feel like GB has the podium wrapped up at this stage, just needs to keep it clean on track, not get any penalties, and just survive to the end. And GB will have the podium, and I'm guessing in his mind he's just hoping that his teammate Freddy in the Ferrari can limit the damage and try and get the win here in Silverstone, as we have 3 laps to go. Freddy not looking for the move just yet. Dynamic Duo, and Crypto's lagged out again. I'll see if I can get him back in one more time.
Oh no, it's going to pay him for mediums.
Not again. Hopefully Crypto can get back in and finish this race, and hopefully get the fastest lap while he's there. Thulu picks up the... This is where it comes down to, chat. We're on the penultimate lap now in the battle for the lead of the race here in Silverstone. My controller is disconnected again. Please stop, as Dynamic Duo has been leading this race for quite an amount of laps, around 10 laps I would say. He's been leading. Meanwhile, Freddy has been happy to sit behind, waiting for the right moment to strike on Dynamic Duo. But when will that moment be? And we're on the penultimate lap now. And will we see any DRS chicken? Will we see any big defensive moves, as we're on the penultimate lap now, heading into Maggots and Beckett's? And can we get a good exit from Freddy onto the hangar straight now? DRS engaged.
He's not. Oh,
will he have the
took
run?
a while to open it. Might be tactical.
And he doesn't seem to want the move now, as we're now going to head on to the final lap, as Zampa picks up a time penalty. Meanwhile, we round the final corner onto the Hamilton Straight.
As my friend
for
has said,
the final.
She is rooting for GB, so GB's got to have a monster final lap here in 7.7 seconds and pass the top 2.
Yeah, GB's got to catch around 8 seconds and just, you know,
Also, she wants me to say
Send it
hi.
on the driver's
So,
head.
hi, bub.
Meanwhile, we do have the battle for the lead now as it goes on to the final lap. And Freddie now 4/10 behind Dynamic Duo. And Dynamic Duo still ahead now. Will Freddie have enough in the tank to start to catch Dynamic Duo? Is Dynamic Duo trying to stretch the legs here? And the gap is now building. The gap is continuing to build into Cops now.
Oh.
And it's a half a
so
second
committed.
currently as they head into Maggots and Backets, and Freddie needs a monster exit here if he wants the win. Dynamic Duo gets a good run. 6/10 is the gap now. Freddie gonna dump the battery, but I don't think he has enough. Dynamic Duo has played this masterfully, and Freddie's just gonna be nowhere near Dynamic Duo. He has really one more braking zone to get it,
Oh,
but he's too far
Freddie's backed
back.
off.
And Freddie's backed off because he wants to let GB through to get P2. And what amazing team play from Freddie, if that is what he's doing. Freddie
Yeah,
wants to
look, he's
give
doing it.
GB P2, and that is great team play from Freddie. He wants to help GB in the championship, and GB now will finish P2, but it is Dynamic Duo who wins in Silverstone. Dynamic Duo now with his second win of the season, I believe. Meanwhile, GB finishes P2 following Freddie, letting his teammate through to close the gap in the championship. So Freddie has helped GB limit the damage here, and Dynamic Duo will catch in the championship. But as GB says in the chat, that is damage limitation, and that is pretty much the most GB could have done, even in this chaotic race where he did get damage. GB still gets P2, so
My
I'm sure
girlfriend
he'll
is
take that.
celebrating, so.
And GB will miss out in Qatar.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Cthulhu has
Oh, he's
crashed
left.
over the line, and we're gonna have to
Oh,
check
damn
the. And yeah, Ace in the chat says if he did not have damage, he could have got a podium, and he did show great pace up from P19 up to P6. I'm sure Ace is the driver of the day here for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
As you can see, the driver of the day emerge. I'm assuming it's going to be the driver in the Alpine, and it is up 13 positions.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
What a drive it was from Ace. And yeah, Zampa says wing damage in the first stint, total aids, and we couldn't agree more. Not a lot of drivers could do about the Haas just rejoining for no reason, because immediately after he rejoined, he then went back into the pit lane anyway, and it's like, why did you not just stay in the pit lane in the first place? Who knows? But Dynamic Duo does get the win here and does close in the championship. What I'm going to do is I'm going to enter the results in really quick and see what that does just between Dynamic Duo and GB now. Let's see what this does. And do you know who got the fastest lap?
It was Crypto. Crypto
And we'll have a look here. Although, I think with Cthulhu leaving, yeah, Cthulhu actually got... Yeah, Cthulhu finished... got P9.
Yeah.
Cthulhu finished behind Crypto. Interesting. But... As I'm going to check the standings now, and hopefully we can get everyone into the party as well. As we look through the race director as well, make sure everything's in. But Dynamic Duo now leads the championship by... that doesn't seem right. That's not correct. Hello? Why is it like that?
You not done the math right.
I've done the math right. It's just like broken. This is the gap I was expecting to see like after Qatar, but now it says Dynamic Duo is 14 points in the lead.
Hey.
Where GB was like 13 points in the lead going into going into the round.
Well, that's not right.
So that isn't right. What happened there then? Oh, I know what I did wrong. That right. I've not put GB in the qualifying. Where did GB qualify? P2 was it?
P2, yes.
All right, that's what happened there, chat. Okay, there we are. GB leads the championship by 8 points. Let's try and get everyone in the party now if we can. Oleg, if you can make the party open so everyone can just join,
Yeah.
make things easier. I'll try and get invites out as well here. Vibe in the chat says GG. And where's Dynamic Duo? If we can get him in the party here. And Freddy's in. I'll try and get Ace in as well if we can.
Steady. Yeah.
But hopefully Ace joins and we can start with reviewing his monster drive today. And I have invited Ace, and there he is now. Now, everyone, as you come in, make sure to tick the box in the party. Ace, are you here?
Yeah.
Have you ticked the box in the party? Yeah.
Wait, hang on, let me yeah.
Alright, now the stream can hear you, but Ace, you started P19, unfortunately lagging out of qualifying. We were all having technical difficulties in quali, including myself. But from P19 to P6, a monster drive. How'd that race go for you?
Well, apart from the wing, if I didn't have the wing damage at the start, I would have been higher, but it was a good recovery. I sat in the Red Bull's DRS for half of it, which really helped, and then just used my battery to get out, and then was safe for P6 from then on.
Yeah, and it was a very impressive drive. Unfortunately, a lot of drivers did end up getting wing damage that race. It just
Oh no.
for some reason on this game, the Silverstone has just been a bit chaotic. Thank God it wasn't as bad as Tier 1, or well, not even Tier 1, Season 1, I mean, Tier 2 Silverstone. That was far worse.
Oh yeah, I remember
So,
that. Yep.
even though a lot of you may have thought that was bad, Season 1 was way worse. Anyway, we're going to move on now to Freddy. Freddy, how'd that race go for you?
Yeah, nice. Pretty good race, just pretty boring, nothing going on. Yeah, it was bad happened, just pretty.
Well, I mean, you were battling for the lead the whole way through, and all I feel happened there at the end is that you left it a bit too late to go for the move, and then once you realised the move wasn't on, you did the teammate thing and let your teammate through to benefit in the championship, which is honestly, I don't even know if I'd do that. Even though if my teammate was in the championship fight, I'd be like, I'm taking this P2 regardless.
Yeah, no, I'm not battling for it. I don't mind doing that. I've only done 2 races.
A lot of drivers are that more selfless than I, because that's the second time this season we've seen a driver let their teammate through or just let another driver through. But we're going to move on now to GB, who still holds the championship lead by 8 points. GB, how'd that race go for you?
Not that great, really. My race was sort of over at about, I think it was the start of lap 7 or 8, when Crypto, I don't know if he went for the move on Freddy, but he went very slow through the final corner, and I just basically had nowhere to go. So I ended up losing half my front wing from that, and then had to try and make the tyres last till the end, which was a nightmare. I think they were high 70s on the final lap, but you know, it's damage limitation, and I've thanked Freddie for doing that. We were talking through most of the race, just trying to see what we could do to try and salvage it a bit. But yeah, it was a crap quality. It was a all right start to the race, but then pretty crap after lap 8. So we take it. I think it's 8 points or something. The gap, so it's looking unlikely. I need a bit of a miracle, but see what happens.
Yep. Well, despite the race not going your way, a P2 I'm sure was pretty much the ideal damage limitation that you could have got from the race.
Yeah,
But,
I was very thankful for. I think it was actually Crypto in the end that got the fastest lap, so it sort of repaid for the me losing half my front wing on his arse. That he stopped anyone getting 2 points there, because that was one thing I was expecting to happen on the last lap.
But anyway, a decent race for GB, despite maybe things not going your way. But we're going to move on now to the race winner, and his 3rd win of the season, and second on the bounce. Dynamic Duo, how'd that race go for you?
Well, it's good. The thing is last week with the translation for this race. But overall, it's probably one of my best coming into that race. I've tried to prioritize it and getting ahead. So I tried to keep ahead, but Freddie was keeping on to me like really pretty much the whole race. I think TV dropped back a bit, so I was a bit confused by why he boxed or whatever, but now I've heard it.
But nonetheless, for those of you who didn't hear in the stream, already that Dynamic Duo now only behind by 8 points, and as we head into Qatar, unfortunately GB's gonna miss it. He's gonna be absolutely dreading having a holiday in LA. All the worst. We all hate going on holidays to LA. Just absolute worst,
nightmare.
you know.
Yeah, it is.
I know, absolute nightmare, you know. But anyway, regardless, I'm sure we're gonna have a very exciting finale in Las Vegas. 2 more rounds left of the season. GB still leads the championship, but anything could happen as we head into the penultimate round in Qatar. But that's been us here from Tier 2 WHF. Apologies for the technical. Yeah.
I have something to say.
Oh god.
What?
Congratulations, everyone, and thank you, GB, for getting 7 places as well. Really
I saw. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know. Yeah.
Everyone did a good job, but get your win this thing.
I tried.
Anyway, that's been us from here at Tier 2 WHF. We'll be back tomorrow for Japan.
Oh yeah.
Where
Me
we'll
and
have
Andy.
GB
Me and Andy.
and Andy.
supposedly.
Has Andy?
He has
let's see,
ticked.
Is Andy about?
He's
Alright,
ticked. He
well-
can do it. So let's see.
So we will have Andy back commentating tomorrow with GB, and we'll be there in Japan with for the 3rd last round of the season, where the championship now between Cookie and Cloud is separated by 2 points. So looking forward to seeing how that unfolds. But that's been us. From we're gonna now head over to Fun Oreo. We're gonna raid his channel, and we'll be back tomorrow for Japan. And never mind, Fun Oreo apparently doesn't like raids, so let's raid someone else. Let's see here. Who is available to raid? we will raid the Funky T-Bone on our way out. So everyone, for those of you who have not followed yet, please do. We've also reached 800 followers this stream, so thank you all for following. But we're now going to head over to Funky T-Bone and also make sure to give him a follow as you head over. Never mind, apparently he's not live anymore.
Oh my god.
What is happening?
Just end it at this point.
Right, who's live? Let's see someone who is live. Let us raid this guy. Fibro. Please be live by the time I send this raid over. But anyway, thank you all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for Japan Tier 1. I've been WHFRO, joined by Ollie. And we will see you tomorrow.